Welcome back to another episode of Who Should You Choose, the Monday morning edition. I hope you guys all had a great weekend. Today, this event from the Hut Celebrations event kind of marks the end of NHL 26. I know I've been saying that for a while, but obviously the cards that came out are all just ogres that are what most people would consider the meta of NHL. Over the last few years. So we're definitely in the final cycle. Again, it looks like NHL 26 is going to come out far earlier than normal, almost like what it was pre-COVID. Again, we've got multiple reports on Dextero and things like that about EA's earning calls. I saw this months ago. And it looks like we're headed for a September release, but there's also reports that it looks like it might come out before FIFA, which is, again, crazy. Personally, I love it. Obviously, getting the game quicker is awesome. I have a little bit of reservation that you essentially lose a month of dev time. So how much could they have improved the game or worked on the game when they lose a month of it? That makes me a little concerned. But hey, a lot of the problems I have, specifically with Hockey Ultimate Team, can be solved like that, right? So a lot of the issues that we have can be solved pretty quickly. So from a content standpoint, like Hut content, we'll see. We'll see what happened. I did want to touch on something that came up over the last little while with the previously released MSPs in packs now. I saw on Twitter, my man Thrash tweeted out a video of it. And make sure you guys go follow him on YouTube and Twitter. I'll put the links down below to his channel. But essentially, what I wanted to go over was these 86 and above overall choice packs. Essentially, you're able to pick one collectible, and you will get a account-bound player that is over 86 overall and above. And why this is important is because Lane Hutson's next-gen card is in the pack pool currently, and he comes in at an 86 overall. His upgrades don't count, so you can get Lane Hutson's 86 overall next-gen card, and then obviously pay the cost to get the next-gen tokens all the way up to 99. So a very sneaky way to get a 99 overall card, and this set only costs one collectible. Now, obviously, it is account-bound, so unless you get Lane Hutson, you're kind of SOL, but we'll do one here and just see what we get. Again, it is a choice pack as well, which is kind of interesting. So we'll rip these. There isn't a ton of 86 overall left-handed defensemen in the grand scheme of things, but if we get him, awesome. But if not, and you can also get above an 86. Luca Cagnoni, let's go. All right, the ultimate Luke Hughes. And then Sam Dickens. Yo, a couple of Sharks. Love that. Don't hate that at all. But again, just something to keep in mind. If you really wanted Lane Hutson, you could do this pack because all the other sets, you're not really going to knock down the cost of master set players or anything at this point. All right, so now let's get into the weekend's questions and comments. Kenny James says, if they redo the menus, please God, no animations. Just make them fast and effective. Save the artwork and animation for a card. I don't hate this. Like, I remember the current pack animations have been in the game since NHL 20? What one was Subban? Was that 19? My goodness, I've been doing this for a long time. Because I remember seeing them for the first time when I went to my very first trip to Vancouver. That's why I have a vivid memory of this. It would be Subban, I believe. So they definitely need to rework them. And I think the animations are important for like context. Again, I can only talk about MLB, but they do like walkouts, right? When you pull a diamond card or something, because it is a collection-based game, every card has value to an extent. And when you pull a diamond or anything like that, it is usually like, wow. I think if they're going to do animations on cards or anything like that, I think that it would have to be scaled. So in January, an 85 or whatever the threshold is for a purple, maybe you bump that up a little bit. Like in July, I don't care if I pull a purple 89 overall. I want to see something. It needs to progress. And again, 16 likes on this comment, so a lot of people agree. I agree. I know that there is a cost to doing the graphic design cards. They have to commission that to graphic designers, things like that. They have some guys in-house. My man Micah, I believe, is still doing it, and I think that NHL card art when you look at the other games' card arts, I honest to God think that NHL has the best master set art because it's usually all graphic design. They can't pull on cards like MLB where they just use Tops Now, things like that, or Tops cards. I do like that, but I think when it comes to like the special master set card art, I think NHL does a fantastic job. I would like to see more cards get card art. Like, for example, I think a fantasy card should have card art. it has the potential to go to 99, or at least when it gets to 99, I would love to see that. But I agree when it comes to the menus, fast and effective menus. God, man, it's so staggering when I play other video games, not just sports games, and I go back to NHL and I load up in Hut, and it's just, I don't want to say it ruins the game, but it looks like it's like a PlayStation 3 game in terms of the UI. And to be honest, it is, because the UI hasn't changed at all. So, sleeves. A question I've been wondering for about a year. Normal NCAA players need to play a game to be able to be added in. Why was Macklin and the others in day one last year? Wonder if they bought his rights. Yes. So, when they get into training camp and things like that, it's a little bit easier. Obviously, because now they're part of an NHL team. The big one, and I tried to explain how big that was James Hagens in the NHL draft event. The fact that James Hagens had an MSP and was in game before he was affiliated with an NHL team, that is the first time that has ever happened. And what that means is, it looks like they have the ability with NIL. For anyone that doesn't know what NIL is, name, image, and likeness. Players in the NCAA can sell their likeness to video games and sponsors and other things. They can make money in college. And NCAA the video game was a massive thing, because they basically had to pay $500 to every Division I athlete. Like, the cost on that is insane. And what's crazy is that obviously some players, like Sanders and other big names that were in college last year, they could have gotten 50 grand for their, like, you know what I mean? It could have been exceptional, but that was the hold. There was a big holdup in college football because they wouldn't accept the $500 for everyone, and they finally did. I think that was the dollar amount. Again, don't quote me on it, but I'm pretty sure I read that. For NHL, they don't have a ton of money, but I would love it if the World Junior event comes around and they just go to every single World Junior player item or player, and they say, hey, we would like you to be in Hockey Ultimate Team. We would like to have your name and likeness for this event, and then highlight them. I think the one thing they need to fix for the World Junior event is Team USA. Like Kerry Terrence and other players that play in the OHL and the CHL. First of all, the United States isn't like using those players. Very rarely do they get highlighted in big roles, because the USA likes to prop up their own, as they should. So CHLers don't really get a lot of love when it comes to Team USA. And so what you're left with is all of the best names in Canada and the CHL and European leagues. They can be in game, but in the World Junior event, it's never James Hagens and Perreault and things like that. I would love it if they do a World Junior event right around Christmas time, and it is a banger. They have everyone in game, and you could do a lot with that fantasy-wise and just as an event. I would love it. Love it. Pistol Pete says, I wish they implemented an autofill by collection type in the lineup screen. Would make updating your team best overall team of the week chores line a breeze instead of 10 plus minutes. Again, it blows my mind that in the year 2025, we can't have things like this. This is the problem, because this is such a small thing that in the grand scheme of things, there is 30 other more important things than this. And when they do their dev cycle, they go through and they have like 500 things on a whiteboard. And they're like, these are all the things that we need to fix in NHL. And then they go through the most important and they start checking them off, and they try, and that's how they do it. And the problem is they only get to like 17 or maybe even 15. And this is frustrating because, one, I think you should be able to autofill by collection, like you said. But the other thing is you should be able to lock all lineups. So in MLB, if you make multiple lineups, right, you can't autofill cards that are in a lineup. And sometimes it's really annoying because you don't realize that you have that card in a lineup. It doesn't show you where it is. But I hated when I had my team of the week chores lineup, right? And then I would switch to my normal team, and then I would go and autofill my collection, and I'd put team of the week cards into sets, and I wouldn't realize, and I would trade in my team of the week guys. Because 100%, the autofill by collection type would be a massive, massive W. Jonathan, sorry, wow, that was a mess. Hi, Sleeves. Older gamer here plays NHL super non-competitively, meaning I deliberately avoid the glitches, even if I'm physically able to perform them. They break the immersion, if you will, and I like to play hockey on the PlayStation very much how I play in real life. Solid breakouts, puck pressure, terrible skating, etc. I love that. For that reason, I avoid online play altogether, and not just because I'm absolutely terrible. I'd like to play against human opponents, but the toxic nonsense that goes on when others feel you should quit is exhausting. It's supposed to be a game, but feels more like a drug to some people. And for my part, I'm stubborn as a mule, and it only makes me want to finish the game. Score be damned. I'm with you, man. I've talked about this ad nauseum. At nauseum, there is a lot of us that play the game simply because it is our comfy game, and we get to a point where, not just NHL, like sports games, where you get to a point where it's your comfy game, but it's not giving you any benefit. Like you're not getting a lot of excitement out of it. It's just simply, I don't know what else to do. I don't want the stress of trying to pick something else new in my very limited time I have. So I'm going to go back and play the game that I know at least I'm knowledgeable in, and I know what to do. It's like, do chores, do this, that. I know what to do, and that's what happens. Honest to God, if you think about it, when you go and try and play another game, how quickly do you guys get frustrated? And then you're like, I'm out. And it could be like the simplest like RPG game, but you're just like, I'm not. I notice this. Guys, let me know if you ever feel this when you go back and play older games. I'm replaying every Pokemon game. I'm on this weird journey where I want to, by the time my son's like 7 or 8, when I got into Pokemon, when it first came out in 97, I want to have every Pokemon in Pokemon Home for him and then give him all the games and be like, hey, if you want a Pokemon, here's your account with literally every single Pokemon that your dad caught. I don't know why that's so weird, but Pokemon was such a big part of my childhood and stuff, and it forever will be. But the reason why I bring this up is that I was literally playing Fire Red, a game that I have played 400 times. I've watched this Pokemon series when I was a kid a million times. Like I could like redo Kanto in my mind, no problem. Dude, I can't remember half the stuff that you're trying to do, and I get immediately frustrated. I'm like, this is boring to me because I don't automatically know everything. Because that's what I feel like gaming now is. It's like you just have to know exactly what you're doing, or you're just like, I don't want to do this challenge. Get out of here. I think a simple concede button would help solve many issues, so that we casual players can move on when we know we're outclassed. To avoid abuse by competitive players, you could lock anybody who uses the button out of the divisions with better rewards. If you want to D-rank to face easier competition, you don't get to climb back and collect the better rewards. I would happily trade any chance of better rewards for the opportunity to actually enjoy playing online. Let the more skilled players move on gracefully with their victory and play other skilled players in high divisions, and pair me with the other bums who just want to have a little fun and grinding with that new Boreas Almond card. I love this, and it is a problem that just like, like over the years, there's been things that I've just like harped on that are like, I want to see change. Face-offs in Hut, giving centermen actual face-off ratings that, regardless of how good they are at face-offs, like they're all usable. That was something I did. Like, it's so minuscule, but like back in NHL 21, I harped on the fact that like, you could never use Nathan McKinnon at center as his base card because his face-off rating was so low. He wasn't particularly good at face-offs, but it was like, I just want to use him at center, and we like couldn't, right? The better guys at face-offs, like Ryan O'Reilly, they still had higher face-offs, but the bottom needed to be bumped up. And that was something that we did. Getting Division 1 players to stay in Division 1 is going to be like such a huge focus of mine that I hope we get to a point where we can figure it out. So this year, again, the D ranking was rampant. It was awful. Someone who actually tried to climb to Division 1, and I felt like I had the skill to do it. It was an absolutely brutal experience simply because, think of it like this, guys. You go in and you want to play online, you want to play competitively, and skill-based matchmaking is good in the sense that you match up with someone who's very like skilled as you, right? So if you win in a loss, you're getting like 10 skill rating, right? Here's the problem. You get a Division 1 player that goes down to Division 2. You should not be playing that player. And then when you play him, you lose 10 or maybe even 13 skill rating. And when you win, it's like you only beat a Division 3 or Division 2 player. Like, I would have no problem playing the best players in the world if, when I lost, I got -3 skill rating. But if I won, I would get +18, right? Like, I am completely cool with that. It's not about the player that you're playing. It's keeping them in the place where they're supposed to be so that the online experience makes sense, right? The only way you're going to keep Division 1 players in Division 1 is the rewards for the best players in the world have to be exceptional. And the problem that you run in with that is that you get people that feel that are in lower divisions. You, like, why don't I get the access to any good rewards just because I'm not as good at the game online, right? And I feel for you guys because not everyone can play this game. At some point, to be a Division One player, you more than likely have had to have played about 1,000 games in a dev cycle, like in a game cycle. Like I don't want to be a blanket on that, but it's at some point you've probably grinded the game at least once, and the game doesn't change a ton over year, so like you can keep that skill. But to get to Division One is very, very difficult, and a lot of players don't even care about that. They just want to play, and they don't want to have to play like absolutes, like guys that are just crushing you relentlessly. Concede button would work. I think one way is your rewards or the rivals rewards are like you're locked on the highest skill rating you are, not where you like you're locked in the highest skill rating that you've hit, not where you are currently. I think it's a interesting way to do it. They do that in MLB for Weekend Classic. So in Weekend Classic, which is Hut Champs, you get put into brackets of like your like-minded player. But the problem is that people could just derank and right before Weekend Classic, and then you have a way easier run. However, it locks into the highest ranked seasons or rivals tier that you've ever hit. So, concede button or like a friendly quit. That's an MLB. I wouldn't hate that, but yeah, it's griefing and stuff like that is always going to be in games. It's a tough thing to fix. What are people's thoughts to making Team of the Week instead of being the 3 NHL Stars of the Week? Make a collection system to make a Star of the Month. I honestly would like that. I would like to take the. Honestly, it's taking work away from EA, right? Like it's taking Team of the Week, or you wouldn't even call it Team of the Week. You could call it the 3 Stars of the Week, right? And it would be cool to make them, or find a way that you can make them. Because, like, yeah, in the current iteration, Team of the Week is just not it. Please keep doing these often next year. A guest every so often would be awesome as well. The community involvement is awesome, and when I make a comment, I get excited to see if you go over it in the video. Cheers to a good summer. 100%, guys. I've been doing Who Should You Choose since NHL 19 or 20. Not going anywhere. I think I just might make it a podcast, like a legitimate podcast thing, like Coffee and Shell. But I would love to, bring in Padre back and guys throughout the year as well, just to throw it on, do like an hour-long episode here or there. It's just hard to talk about Hut and with someone else when I do it essentially 5 days a week over here, right? But this isn't going anywhere next year, and if anything, I'm doubling down because of all the comments and things with you guys. So here's an option to meet in the middle for making old MSPs since the devs are so worried about us making too many good players. I want to stop you here. I don't think it's about you making too many players. I think they're worried you're not. A brand new event comes out. Celebration comes out. Bad example because they're so good. Hut 2000s comes out. Okay. You have no interest in any of the new cards, and you have access to go back and make Gallery of Grades cards. Would you have spent any resources or any money making Hut 2000s cards? No. You would have gone back and made all the other cards, right? That's why that you can't make old MSPs. It's FOMO. It's like you have 2 weeks to get these cards, and if you don't, you're out. Like, that is all it is. They could at least do something where after the event is over, the only MSP set you can still do in the event is non-repeatable set that works just like making the MSP did during the event ended, but also gives you a choice pack of all the MSPs from that event. So it can't be repeated to make multiple after the event is ended. This would allow people to at least go back and make that one player from the event that is their favorite team, or for whatever reason they can have to at least make one. And this would prevent someone from making all MSPs in an event, like Warp Speed, if they can't do it in those first 2 weeks. I actually do enjoy that. I think being able to make one... That would be interesting. I still think that is going to go against the grain of what they want to do, which I hate. But that is an interesting way, I think, to do it. So, hey, Slaves, I was thinking of ways for EA to make it worth staying in your Rivals division. There should be a set designed specifically for Rivals collectibles. Within that set, there should be different options. One for Div 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 1. Each win in the division gives a collectible for that set's division. You can take that collectible to the division in which it corresponds to. A collectible for Division 5 should be at least 5 times less valuable than Division 1 collectible, and there are a ton of different pack types that EA has access to. Oh, give each division access to all the packs available, including the new content packs. Maybe make a Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday pack that change every week based on what is released in those days. This also includes packs from current events. For example, you might need 30 collectibles, 30 wins in Division 5 in order to redeem an Ultimate pack, but you only need 6 collectibles in Division 1 for the Ultimate pack. Dude, this is it. In the current structure of what EA and how they release content, this is it. Allow players to exchange these collectibles for current event collectibles as well. Division 5 wins equal 1 collectible, while Division 1 wins 5 collectibles. Division 1 players are going to always need the high-end cards to remain at the top, so by rewarding them for winning a game, which may come by less often than a Division 5 player winning a game, it allows them to invest in current events more and build more competitive and stronger teams for higher levels. The same thing can be done for squad battles, but with limitations. To make the games comparable, I feel like a player must play at least 3-minute periods to qualify for collectibles when they win. Allow the rewards to be somewhat run identically to online rewards. Oh, man. A quick second. Sorry for the long last one. XP cards from the XP pass should provide a bonus XP goal for every goal, assist, and games played with them. It would allow some players who don't have all day to boost their progress. Ooh, I like that. Using XP-based cards to get bonus. That's interesting. Man, this is it. I love this idea. I'm going to post this to EA, and they're not going to listen to me or whatever. But if I ever get, like, this is it. I think this is the way. Because if you win a game in Division 1 and you get 6 collectibles or 5 collectibles, and you can make a bonus pack. Now, it can't be super repeatable, or maybe it could be. Ooh, up to 30 wins. Up to 30 wins. You would get guys that, because you'd want to be in there. Now, it would have to be so much more rewarding for Division 1 than Division 2. That's the problem. That it's not so much Division 3 and below, it's Division 2 specifically. The gap from Division 2 to Division 1 is big. Like, when I play someone in Division 2, I can beat them pretty regularly. Like, it's someone that is in Division 2. I don't. But when I'm in Division 1 and I'm playing someone in Division 1, I can immediately see it, and I have to be on. Because if I'm not, then I'm going to get smoked. It is much more difficult in Division 1. But the problem is that Division 1 guys know that, and they go to Division 2. So if you get 2 or you get 4 collectibles instead of 5, like that, I don't think that's enough. You're on to something. This is it. That is it. So I'm excited because that is a great idea. Thank you guys again for watching Who Should You Choose? I'll be back again tomorrow, guys, and I'll see you then. Have a good one.